Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star based on novel. So let's start. The engraving reflected on the permafrost suddenly surged. The cyan mountain disappeared. This is a special transportation skill. Sitting mountain guest smiled in the mountain. It's kind of like your star tower. There are lots of spaces in your star tower, and there will be portals from space to space. This one is similar, but it just changes the portal into a spot. Luophone was listening, but he still looked confused. He understood what it meant in a broad sense, but he couldn't figure out the mysteries behind it. Sitting mountain guest grinned and laughed. Haha. I've said that only less than 3 can identify it out of all the great beings from the 3 universe eras and Holy Lands combined. Also, I can identify it faster than them. Even lots of Universe Supreme Masters can't understand it. How could you know it? The only thing you need to know is that Universe Boat has power itself. From my perspective, Universe Boat itself is a magical true treasure, much more magical than all the supreme true treasures we know. I think so too. Luophone nodded. What do you mean, you think so too? Said Sitting Mountain Guest. This universe boat has the shape of a boat, and it was clearly crafted. Most great beings think that it's a terrific true treasure. Okay. Transportation is over. It was glowing outside. Time and space moved, and Sitting Mountain Guest showed up in a quiet space. Look outside. Sitting Mountain Guest pointed to the outside, and the cyan stone immediately disappeared. A very beautiful and simple space, said Luophone. He found that the space wasn't large, and there was an island at the center of the lake. There weren't any plants on the island, and there were only ancient, stone-built palaces. Teacher, I can sense that the 2 scales are in the lake, he said. I already know where the 2 scales come from. Sitting Mountain Guest pointed down. This giant lake, and the water in the lake. This is the gigantic ice mountain domain. Perhaps the 2 scales fell into this domain and flew here through a mysterious portal. I'll go down there, teacher. Luophone was in a hurry, so he didn't have time to chit-chat with his teacher. Haha, just go. Sitting Mountain Guest smiled and nodded. Luophone flew out of the mountain in the bloody pyramid. He went into the ice-cold water domain. He kept diving. Luophone had gathered hundreds of thousands of scales in the ice-cold water domain before, so he knew that the water wasn't a threat at all. To be exact, the entire abyss couldn't pose any threat to Star Tower, and the worst it could do to Luophone was to trap him forever. It's there. Luophone sensed something stronger. The bloody pyramid kept sinking, and the blurry golden light immediately became a giant golden hand and grabbed the 2 scales. Haha, I got them. He went back to the center of the mountain. Sitting Mountain Guest stood to the side with a smile. Luophone was very excited, and the 2 scales immediately recognized him as their masters. The extermination godly armor was disintegrated, and all the 8,999,999 scales floated around Luophone. Most of the scales were black, and a fraction of them were golden. They immediately combined, which made Luophone exclaim. It was able to create all the techniques, and they were scattered on all the scales. Defense, distant combat, and close combat, all the engravings were so delicately combined. It was incredible that someone was able to make such a true treasure. Not bad. Sitting Mountain Guest nodded. Luophone was wearing the black-scaled armor, and the 4 silver wings opened. Suddenly, the color changed, and it became a silver armor. The right hand turned silver. Even 5 Chaos Master won't be able to recognize you. Sitting Mountain Guest smiled and nodded. Luophone was excited as well. However, said Sitting Mountain Guest, 5 Chaos uses this crazy demon extermination godly armor as a palace-type true treasure, and the armor is slightly damaged. This is supposed to come from Lava Ocean. Luophone nodded, as he could sense that the armor was indeed a bit damaged. Give it to me, and I'll help you repair it, said Sitting Mountain Guest. Okay. Luophone felt more grateful. It's only slightly damaged, so it won't cost much to fix it, said Sitting Mountain Guest confidently. However, Few in Universe Ocean are able to fix valuables like this. I am the only one. Luo Feng was speechless, as his teacher was indeed very confident in making true treasures. However, he needed his teacher's help, so he needed to be agreeable. He gave the armor to his teacher, yet his teacher didn't rush to repair it. Instead, he said, "Let's go to that island. This mysterious space is independent of other places, so it should be a space that belonged to some great being before." Okay. Luo Feng nodded. Long ago, to be exact, before the two holy lands came into being and Universe Boat was not yet one of the three lands of Extremis, Universe Boat had a user. The black keepsake, green keepsake, and the silver keepsake corresponded to independent spaces. If tilted peak sector and flowing countless mountain looked natural, Universe Boat appeared to have been crafted. The mountain immediately flew to the island and stopped above the island before it gradually landed. Sitting Mountain Guest started to walk out. "Let's go, teacher." Luo Feng couldn't help asking, as he needed to be careful everywhere in the abyss. Sitting Mountain Guest was already outside. "The island is safe," he said. "Okay." Luo Feng could only follow, yet his golden horned beast body was in the bloody pyramid. He and his teacher walked out of the mountain and arrived on the island. The island only has a diameter of 1,000,000 kilometers, thought Luo Feng. It's not large. To them, they could walk from one side of the island to the other side in one step. Sitting Mountain Guest looked at the palaces. Luo Feng turned around and looked at them. Both could tell that they were all the mountain stones that belonged to the island. They formed stoned palaces, and there were pictures on the walls of the palaces. There were pictures of giant boats flying in the sky, pictures of great beings fighting each other, great beings without heads floating in the sky, and lots of beings groveling. They seemed to be telling an ancient history. The energy seemed to be from an ancient civilization. The sculptures themselves contained lots of emotions, which even affected Luo Feng's mind. "What a terrific civilization," said Sitting Mountain Guest. "What a terrific great being," whispered Luo Feng. "You can tell?" Sitting Mountain Guest looked to Luo Feng. "I can't tell much. However, that boat on the picture is clearly Universe Boat. What kind of civilization was able to build a valuable like Universe Boat?" Luo Feng exclaimed, "The builder must be incredibly powerful." He turned to Sitting Mountain Guest. "Teacher, were great civilizations really born here in the past?" "Perhaps," said Sitting Mountain Guest. "Even if they were, nobody knows which universe era this one belonged to. The two holy lands have existed for a very long time, and Universe Boat was already broken when they came into being. We can only find some traits from some ruins. The skills I use to make true treasures, I got because of some special situations. I attained them with my comprehension. Like those 7 true masters of Divine Eye Clan, they went to some ancient places and studied them. Like the two holy lands, they had special fighting and training skills. One of the reasons is that they are led by the ancestors of the Holy Lands, and second, they've been to lots of ancient places." "Holy Lands," Luo Feng couldn't help saying. "Teacher, no one has met the ancestors from the two Holy Lands. This is a secret among the Universe Supreme Masters." Sitting Mountain Guest looked at Luo Feng. "Don't think too much. Keep practicing. When you become a Universe Supreme Master, you'll know many more mysteries, and you'll just be wasting your time overthinking if you haven't reached that." "Okay." Luo Feng nodded. Let's go in." Sitting Mountain Guest walked in. He walked along and entered the palace. Luo Feng and Sitting Mountain Guest were walking side by side, and they were looking at all the ancient sculptures. There were all sorts of pictures. Pictures of beings cheering, pictures of battle and leaders roaring. All the pictures showed that it was an ancient civilization, a mysterious and powerful civilization. Emotions, Luo Feng could feel the emotions in the sculptures. He even doubted that they were famous buildings that mimicked some ancient civilizations. After some time, Luo Feng and Sitting Mountain Guest entered the center place. Luo Feng noticed that Sitting Mountain Guest stopped. "Teacher." Luo Feng looked to all the complex characters on the giant wall in the distance. The characters were ancient and mysterious. Even though Luo Feng wasn't able to recognize the characters on the wall, he was able to understand what they meant. A mistake. It's a huge mistake. It cost so much. Yet all I got is death. Deaths upon death. Haha. I have made a breakthrough, so what? It's death in the end. The characters on the wall contained anger and regret, which dazed both Luo Feng and Sitting Mountain Guest. Unknown words on the stone walls gave rise to strong emotions that caused Luo Feng to feel as though he was under the impact of a crazy storm. Near his ears, there was a vague, low growl that sounded as though an ancient, great being was roaring. Dying one after the other, dying one by one, no one can escape. No one can. I am filled with reluctance, so reluctant. Soon after, Luo Feng regained consciousness. These words contained an emotion so strong, and also, they contained his willpower. Luo Feng was speechless learning about this. An intimidating existence that was annihilated during a reincarnation era that no one knew when, leaving behind mere words. To be able to achieve this, how powerful he must be. Besides, these words and the words transmitted by the true treasure are the same. True treasures, one by one being born, yet no one knew who created them. The primal universe. Universe ocean, or another. Now, from the looks of it, many true treasures that have been handed down may be related to a tyrannical civilization that had been annihilated. Luo Feng speculated to himself, then turned to look at his teacher beside him. Sitting Mountain Guest looked on without a word. Given his power, he would not be influenced by the strong emotions exuded by those words, but the expression on his face was vaguely sad. It took a while before he slowly shook his head. Then, looking at Luo Feng, he said, Luo Feng, the mysterious great being who left these words behind is stronger than me. Stronger than any other universe supreme master. I suppose even teacher origin of the human race may not be able to defeat this great being. Only the original ancestor of the two Holy Land universes might somehow be comparable. How strong he was, yet his end was so tragic. Sitting Mountain Guest shook his head and continued, as of today, our universe ocean is active across the 3 reincarnation eras and 2 Holy Land universes. But thousands and millions of reincarnation eras later, who or which race and clan could survive? This is something we do not know. Luo Feng was momentarily taken aback. That was quite true. They would not be able to live that long, so long as they could live through 3 more reincarnation eras. Nowadays, for a large number of great beings, only those from the 2 holy places could survive through countless years. Besides, it would be too difficult to create another Holy Land universe for them to live. Teacher. Luo Feng's gaze was sharp as a blade, and in a light but firm tone, he said, we may only have a glimmer of hope, but at least the 2 Holy Lands are still there. We can still see hope. No matter what, we have to give it our best shot. I have only lived for merely hundreds of thousands of years. That is far too short compared to 1 reincarnation era. Being able to reach where I am today, what about millions and billions of years? Or even much longer than that, I am certain I can reach higher ground. If there is no path ahead, I will make my own path. Besides, this is not unprecedented. There were great beings who succeeded before. Sitting Mountain Guest looked at Luo Feng, then smiled as he nodded. Haha. I may have been slightly influenced by those words. Being young is definitely different. You are so full of vigor. With such vigor, you will be different from old fellows who have lived through endless, long periods yet have not been able to achieve any breakthroughs. Long periods have eroded their order. You should put your heart into this. Who knows? In the future, I might need to get help from you. Get help from. Luo Feng's heart skipped a beat. Let's go. Sitting Mountain Guest beckoned. We should take a look to see what else this great being who lived here ages ago left behind. All right. Luo Feng followed suit. Luo Feng and Sitting Mountain Guest were both extraordinary beings. They toured around as streaks of light, and all they required was one sweeping glance of everything around them. Everything they scanned would be remembered well and taken to heart. And, naturally, their speeds would be extremely fast. The entire island is incomparably quiet, thought Luo Feng. It is very different from the other places in Deep Abyss. There isn't a single plant or a single valuable on this island. Just endless palaces. Suddenly, ahead of him, Sitting Mountain Guest took a wide stride and he arrived far away at the third palace within its palace hall. Luo Feng, come here. Sitting Mountain Guest's voice seemed a little agitated. Luo Feng accelerated, and within an instant, he had arrived within the palace. In that massive palace, within its huge courtyard, there were several exquisitely adorned sculptures. In the same courtyard, there was also a gigantic stone wall meant for decorative purposes. It was around 1,000 meters tall and 2,000 meters wide. The entirety of it exuded an immeasurably strong aura. This is, Luo Feng said. He knew clearly at first glance that this stone wall contained countless diagrams of secret engravings. They were so small that they would have been measured on a nanometer scale and seemed to be embedded in the stone wall. It seemed to be their nest where they all finally converged to form a strange, huge, three-dimensional diagram of secret engravings. An aura charged at Luo Feng's consciousness. The stone wall that was originally before them had undergone a complete change. Now, it seemed to contain another world that was filled with countless souls like life forms from the rock race, metal race, or even the flesh and the blood type. Billions of life forms were kneeling in a certain direction, worshipping as they chanted the same utterance in unison, Devil split. Devil split. Devil split. The intermittent sounds were like a tsunami. Luo Feng, wake up. The impact of a strong godly power caused Luo Feng to wake up in shock. Teacher. Luo Feng turned to look at Teacher, feeling overwhelmed with shock. It was so terrifying. What technique was this? He had studied diagrams of secret engravings and had meticulously studied the diagram of secret engravings of miniature universe, but when comparing the diagram of secret engravings of a miniature universe to the stone wall before him, which contained a diagram of a vast and mysterious secret engraving, it was like comparing a single blazing flame to an entire star. Luo Feng would have bet that the scene he had witnessed earlier had been caused by the diagram of secret engravings on that stone wall. Whatever being created that engraving, if the technique was really executed to unleash its true potential, it would be so powerful that billions of souls would submit to it. Or at least universe masters would not be able to resist it and would be enslaved to it in an instant. You are quite a gutsy one, said Sitting Mountain Guest. The moment you arrived, you went straight to look at the stone wall filled up by that diagram of secret engravings. The engravings on this stone wall were a legacy left by an ancient existence. They are profound beyond imagination. Even I am only able to understand a tiny bit of it. Sitting Mountain Guest pointed to somewhere far off to one side and said, I think you should take a look at this side first. Luo Feng looked in the direction his teacher was pointing. There was a wall in the courtyard. On the wall were some words. The meaning was apparent with just one look. These were the last words left behind by the same great being from earlier, the same one who had left the crazy words carrying such strong emotions. I've finally achieved a breakthrough, but death shall befall me soon. How reluctant I am. How regretful I am. But it's too late. Everything is too late. One by one, they all died. I attained a higher level of achievement and comprehended my greatest technique, but still, I was too late. This diagram of secret engravings represented lost knowledge, during my highest peak. Brief as they might have been, these words seemed to convey thoughts that sounded more sad than angry. Looking at the message left behind on the stone wall, Luo Feng suddenly realized that the incredible diagram of secret engraving that seemed to be embedded onto the wall actually represented that great being's highest peak. This is not the first time I have made such a discovery. Sitting Mountain Guest said. In the three most dangerous lands, some core grounds have monuments that were left by super beings from countless reincarnation eras ago. The number of monuments that I have come across so far, including this time, is 9. Some of them are very useful while the others are completely useless. Luo Feng nodded. He had also obtained the relic of Jiefanzi before, so he could understand what his teacher meant. Universe Supreme Masters who could make it to the core ground of the three most dangerous lands would be able to discover various relics. This was nothing strange at all. This being merely wanted to prove himself. Sitting Mountain Guest shook his head. He had no intentions of passing down any inheritance, because if he had wanted to pass down any, even if there wasn't detailed guidance, he would have left at least a dozen diagrams of secret engravings, from bottom to top, for the later generations to contemplate and study. Yet he only left behind an extremely powerful set of diagrams of secret engravings. Even I find it impossible to cultivate. Who else can achieve the cultivation of this? The Divine Eye clan got lucky before, to discover a set of complete inherited monuments left behind by an ancient existence. Sitting Mountain guest sighed. Why can't I have such good luck? Luofeng, I told you not to look at the stone wall. Why are you looking at it again? Sitting Mountain guest could not help nagging Luofeng. At this point in time, Luofeng's gaze was fixated on the stone wall. What he was observing was only one of the corners of the wall. It was not like before, where he was looking at the entire diagram. In that corner, which was probably only 1/10,000th of the whole diagram of secret engravings, he could see countless miniature diagrams of secret engravings constructed around one another, to the extent that they pierced into the stone wall. There was a strange kind of feeling. It was as though the universe was the fundamental particle and fundamental particles were reassembling to construct a soul. Those miniature diagrams of secret engravings were all very exquisite. Luofeng was completely mesmerized by the way they were constructed. Gold, wood, water, fire, earth, wind, thunder, lightning, electricity, and light rays. Time and space. Fusion laws. What nonsense. None of these, this is something entirely different. It was more miraculous, more unpredictable. Luofeng was completely taken aback. Suddenly, Luofeng, wake up. Sitting Mountain guest shouted. Luofeng turned to look at his teacher. Teacher, this time, I am not influenced by the music. I am clear-minded and awake. You have been looking at it for more than 3 days. Sitting Mountain guest shook his head out of helplessness. Would I have been standing here all this time? This diagram of secret engraving is mystical and unpredictable, but it does not conform to my path in life. 3 days. Luofeng was shocked. His entire mind and body had been immersed within for so long. Time really flew by quickly. Teacher, this diagram of secret engravings is extremely profound. I think even if I had billions of years, I would still be unable to fathom it thoroughly. However, from its most fundamental structure, I realized, the flow of diagrams of these secret engravings was like a mirror of my life, showing me that my achievement in the studies of diagrams of secret engravings have been stagnant at the universe night limit for far too long. I feel that this is my chance for a breakthrough. Sitting Mountain guest laughed. Haha. Yes, it may not be useful to me, but studying these diagrams has been a part of you for some time. The study of diagrams of secret engravings is required to continue observing more and more diagrams of secret engravings. The more you study, the higher the possibility of a breakthrough. You were here for 3 days, and so I have been looking at them for 3 days. I, too, have comprehended some of them. From within, I have comprehended 5 of these diagrams. You should come take a look. Sitting Mountain guest pointed to the towering wall in the neighboring courtyard, and on the stone wall, countless fine secret engravings suddenly appeared. One after another, large diagrams of secret engravings appeared, all of which were much more profound than the diagram of secret engraving of a miniature universe. They were the 5 major diagrams of secret engravings, and they were etched onto 5 different parts of the wall. These 5 major diagrams of secret engravings, from what I comprehended, all have 1/1000th the power of that lost knowledge, Sitting Mountain guest said. With this as a stepping stone, you will be able to gain an understanding of it faster. Luofeng gazed at the 5 major diagrams of secret engravings and could not help but feel shocked. This was, indeed, an entity capable of making supreme true treasures. His capability was intimidatingly strong. Stop looking, it is time to head out. Sitting Mountain guest laughingly said, this island is very quiet, and there isn't much danger around. You only need to leave behind one body with your godly power to slowly build on your understanding. Do you know, in the outside world, there is a big commotion going on. I can already sense the great waves from outside. I think there might be a fight between Universe Supreme Masters. A fight between Universe Supreme Masters? Luofeng was taken aback. Otherwise, I would not have woken you up. Sitting Mountain Guest laughed. Leave a body with your godly power here. It may be weaker, but there is no one to attack it, so it will be fine. You can leave it here to cultivate and gain comprehension at ease. Let's go. We shall go and take a look. If we make it in time, maybe we can still see the battle in action. TSK. Who knows? The ones involved may possibly be huge axe creator of your human race. Luo Feng couldn't stay calm anymore knowing that it might be huge axe creator fighting outside. Teacher, let's go, said Luo Feng. He looked around. He saw a trace of indistinct godly power flying out of his godly body, and it was condensed into a human shape. It was an avatar. Universe Knights were already able to use avatars easily. Yet it was very difficult for Undying Fighters to use it, as they had weak godly power. If they couldn't separate enough godly power, they couldn't even maintain the consciousness. If they separated 50% of their godly bodies, the godly bodies separated would be very weak, so it was uncommon for Undying Fighters to separate their godly power. However, it was much easier for Universe Knights to perform it. When the original stars had first opened, lots of Universe Knights from the Hong Alliance left avatars. Okay, let's go now. Sitting Mountain Guest didn't hesitate. After only a few seconds, a towering cyan mountain started to float, and it flew to the high point. Then Sitting Mountain Guest performed that giant engraving picture, which triggered the mysterious space, and it was transported out. Only a lake, an island, and an avatar were left in the mysterious space. The cyan mountain showed up again from the ice. The cyan mountain immediately flew away, and it disregarded any dangers. Compared to other places in the abyss, the mysterious space is a fantasy land of peace, Luo Feng complimented it. There's no danger, and it's really peaceful. No wonder that supreme being lived there. The ways to get in and get out are extraordinary. I've seen teacher performing it, but I still can't learn it. You'll learn it when you become a Universe Supreme Master. Sitting Mountain Guest looked to Luo Feng. Oh, right, you had better put your avatar there. Don't dissipate your avatar. I don't have time to send you in there again. I understand. Luo Feng was smiling. He might be able to fight some Universe Masters with his accomplishment on the engraving path. However, he was still too weak compared to Universe Supreme Masters and great beings even more terrifying than Universe Supreme Masters. Now that he had the chance to study the supreme techniques of that great being, he wouldn't waste it. Just an avatar. He can just live there forever. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. I need to study it no matter what. My techniques depend on it. The mountain kept getting faster and faster, and it was already 100 times faster than light speed. Wow! Luo Feng noticed the speed of the mountain. Teacher, you're getting too fast, and it's already over the law operation. Some Universe Supreme Masters might notice it. Sitting Mountain Guest was sitting there and poured some grape wine for himself. What else should we do? Fly there slowly? The fight will be finished before you can arrive. But Luo Feng had no answer. It might take them several days to get there. Several days? The fights between great beings were very short, even for Universe Supreme Masters. Half an hour was already a long time unless they were pursuing one another. Chasing fights could last for tens of thousands of years, yet all-out combat often ended in no time. If they were slow, they wouldn't be able to make it, but if they were fast, they would be discovered. It doesn't matter if we're found, said Sitting Mountain Guest, taking the wine cup. Come, this wine is great. It was given by a friend from the Second Universe era after I made a true treasure for them. Try it. Luo Feng laughed. He wouldn't worry about anything if his teacher didn't. The wine was created after you gave him a true treasure. I need to try it. Luo Feng walked up. Sitting Mountain sped up to 1,000 times faster than light speed, 10,000 times faster than light speed, 100,000 times faster than light speed. Luo Feng only sipped twice. The trembling intimidated Luo Feng. We're here. Sitting Mountain Guest stood up. He waved his right hand, and everywhere around him turned transparent. The mountain didn't block anything anymore. Luo Feng looked out, and he could see the glowing outside. The wind was already gone, and the lava stopped. In front of the fight between Universe Supreme Masters, the energies carried in Universe Boat were apparently weak. The ripples made Luo Feng tremble. I can only feel the vibration after arriving here, yet teacher senses it in that mysterious space. Luo Feng now knew that how weak he was compared to Universe Supreme Masters. He stopped thinking. He wanted to figure out whether Huge Axe Creator was there or not. Yi. Sitting Mountain Guest was surprised. One side had the third true master and the sixth true master from Divine Eye Clan, and the other side. It's Brilliant Gold. Brilliant Gold? Luo Feng had heard of him before. Brilliant Gold, a Universe Supreme Master, was called Brilliant Gold Devil God, also known as Brilliant Gold Devil Child. He was a great being from one of the 7 pinnacle races of the Second Universe era, the Dream Eclipsing Clan. His life form changed under some special circumstances. He turned in the shape of a child that looked like being sculpted by gold. He had 13 arms, and he had 13 bodies. The Dream Eclipsing Clan only had one Universe Supreme Master, yet the Dream Eclipsing Clan was still a pinnacle race from the Second Universe era with the power of Brilliant Gold Devil Child. It's Brilliant Gold. Luo Feng relieved. Good, it's not Huge Axe. He was afraid that Huge Axe might get hurt if he fought the Divine Eye Clan because of him. Luo Feng looked to them. In the distance, space and time were twisted, and countless meteors flew across the sky. At the center was a giant strange beast that looked like an octopus. It had 13 antennae. The strange beast appeared to be made of weapons. The 13 antennae annihilated everything. Countless meteors hit that strange beast. The 13 antennae were splashing all the meteors. There were 2 beams of light, both 1,000,000 kilometers long, and the 2 beams stabbed the strange beast time and time again. Brilliant Gold Devil God, Luo Feng murmured. The third true master and the sixth true master. They were all renowned beings with famous true treasures. Brilliant Gold Devil God was performing Brilliant Gold Beast, which was only second to Supreme True Treasures and could rival Crazy Demon Extermination Godly Armor. However, it was obvious that the power was much stronger under Brilliant Gold Devil God. The third true master was named Star True Master, and he was performing endless meteors. It was a domain-type Supreme True Treasure. It was named Star Kingdom. The sixth true master was named Green Eye True Master, and the 2 green lights he used were Soul-type Supreme True Treasures. It was named Green Eye Light. Teacher, this Brilliant Gold Devil God isn't using a Supreme True Treasure, yet is able to resist the third and the sixth true master, said Luo Feng. No Sitting Mountain Guest shook his head and smiled. First of all, Brilliant Gold only seems to be performing only Brilliant Gold Beast, yet there's a Palace-type Supreme True Treasure in his body, which Brilliant Gold is able to resist easily. Third True Master and Sixth True Master didn't use all their power either. Star True Master is only using a domain-type True Treasure. Sixth True Master is the one doing the attacks. Besides, you should know that the third True Master has 2 Supreme True Treasures. Luo Feng nodded. Right. Both Brilliant Gold Devil God and the sixth True Master had 1 Supreme True Treasure each. Yet the third True Master had 2 Supreme True Treasures. This astounded Luo Feng. In the original universe, some Universe Supreme Masters didn't even have Supreme True Treasures. However, those Universe Supreme Masters from the First Universe era and the Second Universe era had a higher chance to have Supreme True Treasures. They both know that Brilliant Gold Devil God has a Palace-type Supreme True Treasure, so they know that they won't be able to injure him no matter what they do, which is why they're not using all their power, Sitting Mountain Guest explained. Brilliant Gold Devil God just doesn't want to be hit like that, so he uses Brilliant Gold Beast to resist it. What is strange is that those 2 true masters know they can't kill Brilliant Gold Devil God. Why haven't they given up yet? They might be transmitting their voices. Let me see. A blurry, black light permeated from the Cyan Mountain, and it hit the battlefield. Sitting Mountain Guess. Are you trying to interfere? Said an angry voice, and Luo Feng was able to sense it under the guidance of Sitting Mountain Guest. Are you going to join, Sitting Mountain Guest? Said another voice. Sixth True Master, I'm just curious, said Sitting Mountain Guest. Why are you attacking Brilliant Gold when you know that Brilliant Gold has a Palace-type Supreme True Treasure? Why aren't you giving up? Sitting Mountain laughed. I'm not going to join, as I don't like to fight. It's okay for me to watch. You still haven't answered my question. Humph. This brilliant gold has extermination godly armor and the silver wing. How can we let him go if he doesn't hand us the valuables? That's right. We can't kill him, but 2 more true masters from Divine Eye clan are on their way. Even if he has a supreme palace-type true treasure, we can seal him. Green Eye, Star, said a high voice. You guys are being preposterous. Extermination godly armor and the silver wing are in the abyss, and I said I have them because you guys disturbed me for blocking my way and asking me questions without any manners. However, I don't have that extermination godly armor, and neither do I have the silver wing. What else can I do to make you believe it? Do you really think we'll believe in you? The 6th true master yelled. Just because I'm here, I have the true treasures, said the high voice. Sitting Mountain guest is there. Perhaps he has them. Do you really believe I have them? Said Sitting Mountain guest. This video will end here.